Good morning. Today is Sunday, June 4th, 11 o'clock almost in the morning. I'm here to give an update. I went to Walmart yesterday. Went to my new favorite aisle in Walmart, the denture aisle. I bought this, Staying Away. I haven't read the directions yet. And this, Polident Smoker's Formula. So I am a smoker, as I've mentioned. I'm sure that's contributed to the loss of my teeth. I would encourage anyone who's never started, don't start. Don't give in. If there's peer pressure, don't give in. You'll regret it. Let me be your example. You don't want to lose your teeth. You don't want to stain your teeth. You don't want to be a social outcast, which is what smokers are these days. If I could go back and not start. But of course it's too late now, and I've smoked for over 35 years, and that's why I bought the Polident Smokers in the denture aisle. I'm puffy this morning. Of course, I had teeth removed. It's expected to be swollen. What I find is, and I think it's kind of funny, because I used to make this face. Hope my nose is clean. I used to make this face, pig face, and it would raise my top lip. And now I feel like I kind of have that permanently without having to, not permanently, temporarily, without having to lift up my nose. What it reminds me of, and I'm not saying that I'm Taylor Swift, but it reminds me of Taylor Swift. The shape of her mouth, her top lip, her teeth. I'm not saying I'm Taylor Swift. It's just reminiscent of that. I'm not in any pain. I'm not on any Tylenol with codeine. I went to bed earlier last night. I went to sleep at 10:30. So instead of taking my 11:30 penicillin, I put it off as long as I could, but I took it at 10:30, and then I did not get up at 5:30 this morning. I got up at 6:30, so my penicillin schedule is a little bit off. I took it as soon as I could after I woke up, and I'll take it at 12:30 and 6:30, and I'll be sleeping at 12:30 tonight, so I'll have to take it again first thing tomorrow morning, or if I wake up in the middle of the night. Things are going well. I'm happy. I'm not in any pain. I'll be glad when this goes down. Boy, is that puffy. I have not sneezed with them in. I don't know what's going to happen when I sneeze for the first time. A friend gave me a tip. Do this. That'll keep them in. You're supposed to cover your mouth when you sneeze anyway. So, I can feel it coming on. So when I know it's about to happen, I have coughed. Coughing does not make them feel like they want to come out. Yawning, I have not yawned yet, but when I open my mouth really big, I can feel them pop loose. I have to open my mouth really big before I can feel it. I don't notice shifting side to side. What I notice is some rocking front to back. I push them up in the front, they seem to come loose in the back. I push them up in the back and they're not as tight as they could be in the front. And I don't want to mess with it too much, because that could pertain to the swelling of my gums, which of course is going to go down. I don't want to mess with it. There's no glue. I have not worn glue in them since the first night. However, they did give me this. They gave me this Poly Grip to go home with. That's glue. That's what I'm trying not to use if I can avoid it. So Poly Grip, Polident. My husband's name happens to be Polly, so that's kind of funny. It's Paul, but we call him Polly. And then they should call it Polly Staying Away, but whatever. It's Staying Away. So I have not yawned, I have not sneezed, I've coughed, and I don't feel like they're going to come out. I've talked loudly. If he's in another part of the house and I have to communicate with him, I will yell. Yelling and talking loudly had become a problem when the teeth were loose. It was one of the first things I noticed. I was in a club with a meeting for the first time, a friend of my sister's who happened to be in my neighborhood. And there was live music playing. I was trying to have a conversation with this guy while the live music was playing, and I've never had a problem speaking loudly. My voice tends to carry. And I noticed when I was talking to him, my front tooth, which had become loose, was vibrating and it hurt. And I thought, well, there go the days of speaking loudly. But now I'm back to being able to talk as loud as I need to yell. I don't think I'm in any danger of them popping out when I yell. I do think it's got a lot to do with my top lip. I feel like my top lip helps keep them in. And if I do this, if I try to do that too much, I feel like it's going to make them come down. I ate soup. I ate macaroni and cheese last night, which had more chewing involved than I expected, and I could kind of feel it sticking to the top of the denture, and I didn't like it. So I didn't eat that much macaroni and cheese, but I had some ice cream, and I do love ice cream. So it's a good excuse. And I was still hungry after the macaroni and cheese and the ice cream, so I made myself some soup, and it was chicken noodle soup. And I let the Ritz crackers dissolve in that soup like I always have. And the soup was really good, and I ate the whole can, and I did feel full after eating the soup. That was the first time I've felt full since Thursday afternoon before my appointment, because I made sure to eat plenty before I went in there because I didn't know when I'd be able to eat again. So I'm not in any pain. I'm not on the Tylenol. I've kept up with the penicillin and the rinses, hydrogen peroxide, and warm salt water alternating. I'm probably using more salt than I need because it tastes very, very salty. But that used to always be my mother's recommendation when I would if I would bite my tongue or get a kink or sore or toothache, rinse with warm salt water. That was her fix-all. And so I'm thinking it will help the tongue and the insides of my cheeks, which do hurt a little. The cheeks, not so much. Actually, my tongue really doesn't hurt anymore either. So I'm sure I can use less salt than I've been using. I prefer the taste of the saltwater rinses over the hydrogen peroxide, but he told me to alternate, so I am alternating. But I dread the hydrogen peroxide, and I don't dread the saltwater rinses. I don't know what else I have to tell you other than I feel like I look like this all the time. I haven't yawned yet. I haven't sneezed yet. But I have coughed and I have talked loudly, and I don't feel like they're going to pop out even though I don't have any glue. Eating is a problem, and you know what? I can stand to lose a little bit more weight, so it's not like I'm emaciated. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep banging on the sink. I noticed that when I was watching a video. You can hear it when I bang on the sink. I don't mind not eating. I don't mind still eating soft foods. I've been doing it for a long time, and I look forward to the first Dorito, but it may be a while. I am not in any hurry to start pushing it. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid to break them. I'm afraid to hurt them, and it's still very new, and it's going to take some getting used to. I have to get used to them and get some confidence in them before I can really push the barrier or start testing them. So that's all I have for you this morning. If I think of anything else to say, I'll be back. Thanks. Bye.